All the games happened on October 31st. Monday we had about 7 games. The Rockets game is still going on, but let's get into the other games first. The first game is the Kings beat the Charlotte Hornets 150-108. The biggest news here this game is De'Aaron Fox got hurt. We don't know the severity of the injury yet, but that makes Davion Mitchell a must, not a must roster, but we should pick him up. He went off this game 32 minutes, 9 for 11. That's not going to happen again probably, but 3 steals, 23 points, really, really good. If De'Aaron Fox does end up missing a couple of games, that's good for Kevin Huerter. Sabonis might get a usage boost as well, and Keegan Murray maybe get a couple more shots, but that shouldn't impact him too much. But the biggest winner would be Davion Mitchell. Maybe Terrence Davis came in, but he only played 4 minutes anyways. Maybe he get more minutes the next team that we could stream this guy. We know what he can do given the minutes. So this game, Keegan Murray, did he play well? He played all right, but we gotta roster this guy. I think as the season goes on, he's only gonna get better. Sabonis, without De'Aaron Fox, had a rough game. Only took 9 shots, 16 rebounds, 7 assists is pretty solid, and he fouled out in 31 minutes. But that's the thing with good players on a bad team is if they're not going anywhere, what's gonna happen toward the end of the season? Are they really gonna play them? The same thing with De'Aaron Fox. I mean, he got hurt, but this is if you make it to the final and this is the last week, is he even coming back? So those are the concerns. Kevin Huerter plays super well, 26 points. Yeah, he's a must roster. Just playing super well. For the Charlotte Hornets, Gordon Hayward, 12 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and a steal, 5 for 5. A decent game. But a lot of value up forward is Hayward is the efficiency. PJ Washington, absolutely sell high. Probably the biggest sell high that I can think of right now in this moment. After going off for 31 points, 28 points. But it depends on what you can get. Do 2 for 1. See if you can get Joel Embiid. Get a PJ Washington plus, I don't know, Pablo Panchero to see if you can get a Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid right now, I mean, he just missed another game. The owner might be frustrated, for sure. So, do things like, because Joel Embiid is going to miss a bunch of games, and those 2 young guys, they're not going to miss much games. Mason Plumlee, 2 for 5 on the free throw is kind of bad, but 10 rebounds, 12 points, and a block. Still got a roster. Is the guy that we got a roster. A lot of peripheral stats. And Dennis Smith Jr. also sell high if you can, because when Terry Rozier comes back, when LaMelo Ball comes back, he's not going to. Is he going to be in the rotation for 10 minutes? I don't even know. But given the minutes, what a game from him. 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 6 steals, and a block. Ooh, really, really big game from Dennis Smith Jr. Again, him and PJ Washington try to sell high on both guys. Otherwise, he could hold. But for Dennis Smith Jr., he's going to be droppable real soon. Philadelphia, without Joel Embiid, they got the win over Wizards 118. Wizards been winning some games. This is a great win. I know Sixers also kind of struggled to start off the season. James Harden, James Harden, that's James Harden. 17 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 threes, 2 steals. I mean, top 3 player. I think it just top 3, top 4. It depends on really how many games he's gonna miss. Tobias Harris, 4 steals and a block. What's his career high in steals? Probably today. Really good, but usually you don't really expect the defensive set out of him. 3 for 7 from the free throw line is kind of suspect. PJ Tucker started at the center, had a decent game, but he's not really fantasy relevant. And look at D'Anthony Melton, 16 points, 2 threes, 2 steals. Yeah, he's a guy that I think he's going to get a lot of opportunity this year, because whenever Joel Embiid, let's say, miss a game, James Harden miss a game, he's the 6-man the 6-man that will come in and play huge minutes. But, with the full roster, I don't expect him to play 30 minutes, maybe 20 to 25 minutes. But every time some guy's out, he become a must roster. Tyrese Maxey couldn't get 30 points. 20 points is good enough. 2 threes, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Decent. I would say Tyrese Maxey is the sell high. If you can get a top 40 player back for him, absolutely do it. For the Washington Wizards, Bradley Beal continued to struggle. I think he shot 25% last game. Again, shot 38%. He's in a shooting slump. I would go buy low on him. Throw him a top 50 player. I think Beal should be a top 30, 40 player pretty comfortably. So throw him a top 50, 60 player, even like Jordan Poole, for example, who's played super well. Yeah. Throw him Jordan Poole, maybe somebody else. That's a 100 ranked player who's playing super well right now to get Bradley Beal, because I believe in Bradley Beal still. Monty Morris, I was shit talking him a lot, and now he puts up a good game. 19 points, three steals, and 4 assists. Okay. I will use this opportunity to sell high on him. Porzingis, can't really sell high because, what are you going to get back from him? But so far, he hasn't missed a game, so that's good. 32 points with 3 threes. Kyle Kuzma only took 5 threes in 33 minutes. That is very interesting out of him. Unlike him, but I do expect him to bounce back. And Anthony Gill started. Not really fantasy relevant. This Wizards team, Will Barton is not. I don't think we even want to stream this guy. And Danny Advia now comes off the bench. I don't really know what's the rotation with this wing. But the rest of the 4 guys are pretty set. Monty Morris, Bradley Beal, Porzingis, and Kuzma. But the small forward position, you might have different guys coming out, coming in and out. Yeah. All right, let's look at the next game. The Indiana Pacers lost to the Brooklyn Nets. This is a good win for the Nets. The Nets need to slowly climb back to top. Let me turn on the lights. The Nets need to slowly climb back to 500. I mean, they gotta be at least 500 team. Yeah. Guess who went off this game? Chris Duarte, 30 points. I would not believe it. I mean, I wouldn't go and pick him up after this game. I think, other than like Tyrese and Buddy Hield, like even Miles Turner, it's not like he's in foul trouble. Played just 20 minutes this game, while Isaiah Jackson played 12 minutes, and then we have Jalen Smith played 26. It's just all over the place, and obviously the Nets, they like to go small as well. So maybe it's not a good idea to have a big man out there, because they just kind of get cooked on the defensive end versus Kyrie or whatever. So it depends on the matchup, but I wouldn't go rush. If you want to go grab Duarte, I don't know what their schedule looks like. If they got a game on Wednesday, I don't mind it, just to see what happens. But I don't expect him to play 37 minutes a game. Jalen Smith, a rough game, but a steal and a block is still okay. Miles Turner, right now he's ranked really high because he's averaging 4.5 blocks right now. But after this game, he's probably falling a lot. Yeah, he's falling all the way to. Doesn't matter. Yeah, you gotta sell high on this guy. If you can get a top 30 player back for him, I would do it. But he's getting drafted pretty high as well, 3rd, 4th round for his blocks. Just don't really trust guys like that, to be honest. Buddy Hield played well, and his minutes just been up and down. Hit 3 threes, 7 assists is really good, 2 steals. And Tyrese Halliburton, the minutes is low for whatever reason, had 7 turnovers. Really, really rough game, but use this opportunity to buy low on Tyrese Halliburton. He's so good. I would not worry too worry about him. And Benedict, this game only 22 minutes, had 16 points and 2 threes. Still put up an okay line, but it's just points and threes at this point. He needs more minutes to become a must roster. Right now, it's just not really. They got too many guys on the wing, on the guard spot. It's hard to give him 30 minutes. And on the Nets, it's the same. One thing to notice is Joe Harris' minutes has been creeping up. So now he played 30 minutes. Decent game here, 7 points. But most importantly, 3 steals in the block. That's not going to happen with Joe all that often. But it's all about Kyrie Irving and KD. Kyrie is about the health, how many games he's going to miss. And, I mean, he was pretty active on the internet saying stuff, just controversial stuff. So who knows what's going to happen throughout the season. So maybe use this opportunity to sell high. Like, if you can get a top 5 player back, I would do it. But if not, right, if you're just getting, like, a Karl Anthony Towns back, I mean, I'm not that interested, probably not that interested. Yeah, like Kyrie Irving for Damian Lillard, I'll probably do it. Well, Damian has got some injury history. But Davis is more reliable overall than Kyrie. But yeah, you can ride with Kyrie, see what happens. Maybe this is the year he plays more than 60 games. He hasn't missed a game yet, so we'll see. I still think something's gonna happen with this guy, and he's gonna end up playing 60 games again. Um, Nicholas Claxton, 4 blocks, really good, 9 rebound and KD. I mean, just super good, 36 points. And Royce O'Neal, he's a must roster. It's 30 minutes every single game, hit one or two threes, been consistent in giving you defensive stats and 8 rebound, 5 assists. I mean, that's just a beautiful stat line. So he's a must roster. Let's go grab him. And Claxton, I mean, without saying, he's a must roster as well. All right, let's go to the next team. The Atlanta Hawks get blown out by the Trae Young. Guys like Trae Young just struggle super hard with versus length, and it showed it here. 14 points and 10 turnovers. My God, who got them steals? OG got 6 of them. I'm not worried about Trey. I mean, just a bad night for him. Also, still had the double double, but 10 turnover probably really killed you. Devontae Murray, 20 points and 9 assists. Not bad still with 2 threes. Clint Capella, 25 minutes. And Okongu, they continue to eat each. They continue to take each other's minutes a little bit. And Okongu is not really relevant, even though he had 2 blocks and 8 points. The line looked okay in just 60 minutes, but unless you want blocks, I don't want anything to do with him. And John Collins, a double double with 6 personal fouls. Also a subpar game. He has been struggling quite a bit, so maybe use this opportunity to buy low. Throw him Jordan Poole. If you can get Jordan Poole for John Collins, that's a big win for you. DeAndre Hunter, 5 fouls in 22 minutes. You really just stream him for points and threes. That's it. And then we look at Raptors. What a game from the starters. I mean, they were getting blown out. The other team was getting blown out. Why is Pascal Siakam playing 35 minutes and Gary Trent Jr. playing 36? I don't understand. Gary Trent, just the points, the threes, the steals. He did exactly that. Scotty Barnes started at the point guard because Fred VanVleet was out, and he just played super well. 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 21 points. Love it. OG, 6 steals and 2 blocks. That's not gonna happen very often, so enjoy it while you can. And 2 threes. I probably use this opportunity to sell high on OG, but if you really need the steals, sure, you could keep it. But again, if people in your league really cares about the rankings, like OG's ranking is pretty good. But again, it depends on what your team needs. He doesn't really offer too many counting stats other than steals is really good, but everything else is kind of mediocre. Consistent points, sure. Probably give you 17 points a game. But it's very rare he would have huge explosion. But, can see him being pretty consistent. The next game is Milwaukee Bucks barely beat Detroit. They put up a good fight. And, Kate Cunningham struggled the first week. No problem. 27 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. He's back, I would say. Never worried. And Jaden Ivey, look at that. 40 minutes. That is really encouraging. Took 17 shots. I mean, efficiency is going to be an issue with him all season, but 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 steals is pretty good. If you drafted this guy in the last round, you're just happy holding on to him. And I think as long as he's healthy, he can only go up from here. He's going to have efficiency issues. Isaiah Stewart also played well. 11 rebounds, a block, and 11 points with 5 fouls. Sure. I mean, other than rebound and a little bit blocks, he's not going to offer you much. He's not a good field goal guy either. But I think he's too good to be on the waiver wire. Especially the rebound. Bojan Bogdanovic, 23 points is decent. And Sidibe came back down to earth. 5 fouls in 27 minutes. So he's hot and cold. I think if he goes up next time with 20, 30 points, you have to try to sell him in the package. For Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis, just the old Giannis. Only 2 assists this game and only 7 rebounds, but had 2 blocks and 31 points, so no worries. Brook Lopez absolutely went off. I would use it. I try to sell him. I try to sell Lopez for sure. Middleton is not back yet. Who knows? They might go small a lot of the times without Brook Lopez versus certain teams. So for sure, try to sell high on Brook Lopez. Grayson Allen injured again. Grayson Allen was injured and left the game, but I don't think he's fantasy relevant at all. And Jrue Holiday, another really strong game. 5 threes, 25 points, 10 assists, and a steal with 7 rebounds. Good stuff. And Bobby Portis also had the double-double. So Bobby Portis is always a guy that we could look to stream, but not roster full time because unlike last year, Brook Lopez is playing in the regular season and his minutes just is not consistent. Next game is against the Jazz. They're not tanking. They're winning games. And this game, Jamoran came back and Desmond Bean was out and put up a crazy good line, 37 points, 12 for 18 from the field is huge. But didn't do much else. 5 rebounds and 4 assists is good, but I took a look at Jazz stats for the year. He's been averaging over 30 points, which is crazy good, and shooting really 86-85% from the free throw line. That's really helping his value. Now, if he can get up his steal to 1.2, 1.3, that he's a top 20 player for sure. John Conchar still getting the minutes, 3 steals and a block, 4 points, but I think we can let him go. Like if Desmond Bean comes back next game, Santi Aldama also being very very underwhelming, very very underwhelming. I'll be ready to let's just wait for a few more games. This is also a blowout, but if he wasn't getting 30 minutes and JJJ, it's okay to let him go. Dylan Brooks had a Dylan Brooks game. 4 for 8 from the free throw inexplicably, but 3 threes and 19 points, pretty good. And Tyus Jones, who is David Rod, played 20 minutes. Tyus Jones come in, played 12 points, had 5 turnovers. That's surprising. He usually doesn't turn the ball over. But I think we only really want to stream him when Jamoran is out. On the Jazz, my God, Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen has been so good. He's been a top 20 player. Okay, if you can do Lauri Markkanen plus somebody for Joel Embiid, I'll be looking to do that. I think he's just playing super, super well right now, shooting 50%. I don't know if he can sustain that. This game he shot 73%, 4 for 6. 4 blocks is really, really good, but I think most of the time he's gonna struggle getting the defensive stats and his shooting is not gonna be as hot. So he could really drop. Kelly Olynyk, let's not panic yet. 4 steals and a block in 21 minutes. Super good, man. Had 6 fouls, but he's being a beast. Vanderbilt, just 22 minutes. My God, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. I mean, if you own those 3 guys, you can probably get Lauri Markkanen really late, maybe 80th, 90th pick, and then Kelly Olynyk even later, last round or something, and then Vanderbilt last round. You have your team is strong with those 3 guys. Jordan Clarkson, 11 points, 7 assists. Yeah. Not too high on Jordan Clarkson, but you still have to roster him. And Mike Conley now came back, played 30 minutes. So Colin Sexton played 24 minutes, so that's okay with 2 steals and 15 points. I think it's kind of hard to hold on to Colin Sexton. If you want to hold on to him for 1 more 2 games, because he did play 24 minutes, so that gives you a little bit of hope. But Malik Beasley still got 20. You only really stream him for points and threes. And he did that here. 18 points is pretty good. All right, let's go to the last game of the night. This game is still going on, but I'm just going to talk about it, and then we'll see what happens. There's only 1 quarter left. So far, today, who is struggling? Jalen Green. Jalen Green has been struggling pretty hard. I would use this opportunity to buy low. If I can trade Jordan Poole for Jalen Green, I absolutely would, because Jalen Green will just have way more opportunity. Not saying Jordan Poole, in real life, Jordan Poole for sure is a better player than in fantasy. Jalen Green is. He just have better opportunity on the bad team. He can do whatever he wants. Another really bad game from him so far, 2 for 13. Kenny Martin Jr. interestingly had 20 minutes so far, played really well, 18 points, 1 steal and a block. If Rockets got a good schedule, they have a back-to-back, I don't mind streaming Kenny Martin Jr., even if he just played 20 minutes each. Kevin Porter Jr., though, on the other hand, very, very solid, made his 2 free throws again. Main thing I'm going to be looking at Kevin Porter Jr., I think he can sustain maybe drop off a little bit in terms of counting stats, but the thing that surprised me the most is 81% free throw. Can he sustain that? So far, he's doing that. Şengün also hit 4 for 4, but that's cap. He's not gonna be this good of a free throw shooter the rest of the way. And Eric Gordon, 12 points, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Really good so far, right? These guys are putting in the work. And then on the Clippers, they did lose another game that would be kind of bad. Paul George is absolutely going off, 5 steals versus probably a lot of it from Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. But he was a buy low before this game. Now it's kind of people know, this is what Paul George can do. And Kawhi Leonard just had a setback. So Paul George is going to go off even more now. So absolutely, if you buy low on him, congrats. You're going to enjoy him. And Reggie Jackson is absolutely horrible. If you got John Wall, you have to drop him too. Zubac, So far, this game played okay. Marcus Morris Sr. is interesting ad. You could add him just to see where things go. He can make a huge volume of threes and some rebounds and some points. This game 0 for 5, but I think he's worth a pickup. And Luke Kennard, not really. And that's it for all the games, guys. I'll see you next time.